for its growth, for its economic development, for India to be a superpower, as some people would love it to be. If you recall recently, I think our minister, Mr. Ramesh, I don't know what is his full name, Ramesh, he says we can get a Nobel Prize for filth. Isn't that kind of that statement of some kind of where India has lagged behind, even though we have huge resources, maybe in terms of money, in terms of the educational components, but yet we are lagging behind. And that's the reason that even our legal education model, though we have been following what you talked about, and very rightly, but yet those models have not been forthcoming either, or have not delivered the goods. Because at the end of the day, I would suggest, or I would submit that these constituencies are meant for only those students who really love the job, who really love to have an outreach program, who really love to be engaged in the types of activities, whether you send them to Mali, or you send them to Burkina Faso, or maybe to the Africa where you have huge civil wars, or maybe you send them to ICC, or so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, I would say that a lawyer has to be one spontaneous, has to be street smart, and we perhaps cannot infuse the sense of justicing which you were talking about, because in Indian legal scenario, I guess the legal services are usually becoming so costly that even people like us cannot afford a good lawyer. And those are the types of issues which we as law professors, as law teachers, or as students of law, or as students of the Indian legal system have to think about and ponder. But all in all, the presentation was absolutely wonderful. It depicted the way how they are managing their outreach programs, how they are managing their global internship programs. And obviously, she talked about recession. Only if you have the last yesterday's statement, India has been a wonderful partner in meeting your recession. We have sponsored about $3 billion to America even in these recession days. I guess, or I wish, if that money was spent in India, perhaps we could have done something greater things. Thanks very much. All in all, it was a good and excellent, excellent presentation. Thanks, Malik.
मैं एक छोटा सा प्रश्न करना चाहता हूँ।
फोन करना चाहेंगे? क्या आप हमें टाइम देंगे? आपको प्रश्न पूछने का पूरा समय मिलेगा। कृपया आप शांत रहें, कृपया आप वेट करें। Thank you so much. May I call upon the next speaker, Dr. Archana Gadekar. She is lecturer, faculty of law, MS University of Baroda. The topic on which she will be speaking has not been given. She would ask them to say. Thank you.
Honorable Professor Pikal, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Archana Gadekar and I am going to speak on the role of law colleges in the changing world. The purpose of legal education in any society is socialization of the individuals and groups. And the obvious goal of professional legal education is to equip students to perform the variety of roles which a lawyer is expected to play in our society. And my paper focuses and attempts to focus on the role of law colleges in shaping the destiny of the future and creating the architects of the society. Today, the avenues available for a law graduate are far more available than what were available to his counterpart, say, 2 or 3 decades earlier. They have come a long way from the traditional practice at the bar, and there were times when law was chosen as a last resort and attendance at the law colleges was thought to be of least necessity. However, today we see that law is chosen as a career of first preference by many promising and talented young students. And in this changed phase, the law colleges have a very vital role to play. Today, a variety of subjects like law and social transformation in India, law, science and technology, legal dimensions of globalization, then intellectual property rights, law and poverty, environmental law, research methodology, practical training, etc. taught which were conspicuously absent earlier. And the inclusion of these new subjects emphasizes a singular point that the Bar Council expects the present day lawyer to adorn a new role of policy maker and policy planners to shape the destiny of the nation. And it expects the present lawyer to be the architects of the modern society. And to fulfill all these expectations is the basic role of the law college. Because it is here that the future leading advocates, judges of the High Court, Supreme Court, the policy makers, the social sciences and the like are groomed. The law colleges are the preparatory schools where the raw teenagers need to be chiseled into matured professionals, and therefore it becomes necessary that the law college provides world-class legal education. The present-day objective of legal education is to have a vision for future and prepare its students competent enough to face the challenges of future and handle the scenario in the changing world. The challenges before the lawyer of the information age are many, and the role of law colleges and the law schools is to train their students to fit the bill. We all know that law is a dynamic concept and law has to be in tune with the changing times. And in my opinion, the law teachers who impart legal education must be ahead of time. With the advent of new technology, there are emerging areas of law, and it is found that the traditional lawyers find it difficult to keep pace with the emerging areas like cyber laws, intellectual property rights, air and space law, and so on. And it is exactly here where the new breed of lawyers is all set to make their mark. And the role of law colleges need to be the training ground for the future. And the product of the law colleges needs to be well equipped to face the challenges before them. The law colleges need to bridge the gap between the study and practice of law. They need to provide a center for research activities at the law school. Then in order to face the challenges, the law colleges need to update their curricula with the changing times, then to adopt a multidisciplinary approach. Also, the law colleges need to develop the capacity of rational thinking, articulation, presentation of arguments, and sensitivity to social needs. The need for trained personnel in academia, litigation, corporate practice, government and civil society has increased significantly over the last few years, and it is estimated that the demands for such trained personnel will rise far more exponentially in the years to come. And therefore, the National Knowledge Commission on Legal Education has clearly said that there is a need to articulate a clear long-term vision on legal education in India, where such a vision will be guided by a continuing commitment to excellence. Even the Law Commission of India, in its 184th report, has recommended that the harmonizing of the powers between the UGC and the BCI is necessary. The Curriculum Development Report of 2001 is a step in this direction, and law teaching must be interwoven with related contemporary issues, including international and comparative law perspectives. The curricula of syllabi must be based in multidisciplinary body of social science and scientific knowledge. Curriculum development should include expanding the domain of optional courses, providing deeper understanding of professional ethics, modernizing clinical courses, mainstreaming legal aid programs, and developing innovative pedagogic methods. Legal education must also be socially engaged and sensitize students to issues of social justice. The new curriculum prescribed by the Bar Council of India, providing the rules and standard of legal education, is a welcome step. We can look at it as a peep into the future and an attempt to provide high standards of education. The more emphasis on practical training will definitely help in matching the pace of development in the globalized era. Yes. Finally, I would like to conclude that legal education plays a major role in developing societies. Law universities and law colleges play an important role in shaping the destiny of the lawyers, judges, litigants, and government. The law colleges need to focus more on the practical aspects of law along with the what and why of the law. It is said that the law teacher should know the why of the law, how of the law must be known to the lawyer and what of the law must be known to the judges. But the challenge before the law colleges today is to produce a student well-trained in all the three, because it is ultimately the law colleges that are going to produce the jurists, the academicians, practicing lawyers and judges of tomorrow. And therefore, I believe that the law colleges should make the study of law such that it makes the students socially relevant and professionally competent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Archana, for a huge roadmap to all law colleges across India. I guess what you have stated, and rightly so, if it was a possibility for all of us as law professors or as heads and deans, perhaps our legal education would become more meaningful and would infuse a new kind of creativity in legal education model. Anyways, some of the programs which you have talked about are already being functional in some law colleges. For example, in Delhi University, we resort to research-based, kind of model, whereby law students are involved in that research. We believe we have law students which are now, opting for newer courses, but I think it's an overstatement at the moment to state that the youngsters who opt for newer courses or who opt for newer syllabi, or they would make better lawyers. It may not be so, because of the fact that, as experience has demonstrated, that for a lawyer it is experience which counts. For a lawyer it is maturity which counts. For a lawyer it is long-standing which counts, and which can see to it that conclusions follow. And today's youngsters who believe that they are masters of newer subjects, I guess it might be an overstatement, because at the end of the day, everyone learns by experience, everyone learns by doing, everyone learns by facing the challenges. Otherwise, yes, it was a good presentation. Thanks, Archana. Thanks very much. May I call upon Dr. Purvi Pokhriyal. She is Assistant Professor from Institute of Law, Nirma University, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Purvi, how much time would you take?
5 minutes, 7 minutes?
Oh, that's your choice, but it should not exceed 7 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable Chair, my colleague co-presenters, and ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm trying to speak on the topic. I don't say that I'm an expert of the concerned subject, but I'm trying to speak on the world-class legal education issues and challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that legal education plays a very vital and dynamic role. It produces statements, it produces social engineers, and at this moment I am really reminded of the then Vice President of India, Mr. G.S. Pathak. In one of the conferences, he has quoted that legal education is an investment which, if wisely made, will produce most beneficial results for the nation and accelerate the pace of national development. And I do agree with that. This thought of Mr. G.S. Pathak, because as we all know that if we really want to uphold the constitutional values and the rule of law, we need the better legal education and better legal professionals. And with this reference, Justice Mr. Thomas Jefferson of USA also has quoted, I really like the quotation, I would like to read the quotation. He said that justice, any judge, is a product or a prisoner of his legal education. He says the attitude of the American judges owes a great deal to their legal education. And with this reference, Roscoe Pound has also advised the FDR and the Congress at that time that I advise you that you pay more attention towards the legal education than to make the amendment in the Constitution. So, with this background, I just would like to discuss the scenario which India is facing as far as the legal education is concerned. Friends, there are a number of commissions, committees and whatnot have been appointed by the government of India way back from 1950 till date, and lastly we had the National Knowledge Commission, which has also given some of the recommendations to the government. But friends, it is a paradox that in spite of this many recommendations, nothing has been done in this particular area of higher education system. So I suppose it is a high time to rethink on the state of affairs of legal education in India in order to make the